Why hello there, it is I, your favorite YouTuber who makes videos once per whenever. As you can expect for a channel of my size, my videos take lots of effort for very little reward, so I'm gonna do what every respectable YouTuber is doing, which is to steal the video concept of my colleagues. With that being said, welcome to my new video series called Monotone and Incompetent, of which the concept I've gracefully stolen from this guy. Please make sure to check out his channel, link down below. Now with no further ado, let's get straight into my first showcase of incompetence in Star Wars Battlefront 2. After starting the game for the first time and changing all my settings to actually make it playable, I'm immediately greeted with what I can only assume to be loot boxes. Gambling has made its way into this game as well, what could I expect, it's EA after all. Of course I'm overtaken by greed and click on open faster than a newborn puts random poisonous objects in their mouth. I am then promptly welcomed with clones I'm only allowed to see from the back for some reason. Not knowing what this button does, I immediately click it upon discovery and some rich CEO seems to find my account worth investing into and I suddenly gain 60,000 credits. Still haven't figured out what they are for. I then finally decide to play a game and wait exactly no time at all before being thrown into the first round. It seems I'm playing Naboo in my first game, can't wait to shoot down some clankers. Did you really believe I make a Star Wars video in 2025 and not use that word? Keep dreaming. Not knowing what anything here means, I click on select and I'm then confused with even more buttons I don't quite understand. I eventually find the start button and with it my way onto the battlefield and decide to shoot my first shot into this random box and reload right away. My second and third shot are equally as useful for the Republic, but on the fourth one I finally figure out how to aim for enemies, getting my first kill. Turning around reveals a second clanker and after also getting rid of that one I feel pretty good about myself. But Grievous decides that no one is allowed to be happy on the battlefield and immediately runs me over. After respawning I make the brilliant decision to take a one-on-one fight with his droideka, outcome is expected. A few deaths later and I finally decide to select something else before respawning and rejoin the battlefield with what can only be described a waste of money in my hands. I then see a red lightsaber and recall the time a teacher asked me where I wanna be in 10 years. Apparently my answer has been that, cause I start sprinting towards an enemy I have no clue how to defeat. Not knowing when to retreat, I continue fighting the Sith Lord. Unsurprisingly, my dream is being fulfilled. On the next respawn, I find out that snipers exist and my new life goal is set. Sniping clankers was always my dream growing up, can't wait to make it come to reality. However, I quickly discovered that I would have joined the Empire after Order 66, cause with my aim I'd integrate perfectly into the ranks of a stormtrooper. Missing 6 shots on barely moving targets was enough to show me why I shouldn't play snipers after all. Spoilers, I don't learn from my mistakes. But not to worry, because shortly after my immaculate showcase of sniper skill, Count Dooku came to congratulate me, offering me a promotion of spontaneous death once again. This music then leads me to believe that we've won, little did I know the game will go on after this. Not understanding how to board this ship, I walk around in front of it before genius strikes me and I figure out I have to hold down G. While waiting for whatever to continue, I make the decision to check the scoreboard for the first time and can't help but feel like I'm making the Republic proud. Spawning on wherever this is, I once again don't know where to go and just follow my team. That seems to have been the right decision because after 2 minutes of doing absolutely nothing, we end up actually winning my first game. Back in the main menu, I'm sad to find myself not having any more free loot boxes to open, so I just go into my second game. My second game is gonna be on Jakku as it seems. I've never heard of this planet before, must be from the sequels. Who would have thought? Walking around for a few seconds, I somehow end up in here. Confused and unsure of what to do, I chose to pick a close range fight against a guy with a flamethrower while myself playing a sniper. Foreshadowing wasn't needed, we all know how this fight ended, but the game still rewards me by leveling me up. After being zapped to death by Emperor Palpatine a few minutes later, I decide to have a first look on the scoreboard and come to the conclusion that this is a bot match. There's no way I'd stand on top of the leaderboard otherwise. With this new realization, I start cosplaying Tiananmen Square and just spam left click into a horde of enemies until we eventually end up winning. I was then blessed with seeing myself as the MVP, don't get too used to it, it will never happen again. And with my excitement restored and myself feeling hyped up, I hop into a third game. Looks like we're playing Geonosis today, can't wait to fuck up more clankers. Oh wait, I'm gonna be the clanker, can't wait to show the meat sex how to actually win a fight. Upon loading in, I check the scoreboard right away and see myself higher on the list than I will for the rest of the game. I then promptly turn around, looking as far away from the battlefield as possible while my entire team is running towards it. How should I have known? Everything looks identical after all. Following my failed attempt to find the action, I soon encounter my worst enemy so far, a slightly too tall rock. Defeated and humiliated, I decide to just stand down here and aim for absolutely nothing once again. In an unexpected stroke of skill, I remember how to use my 3000 hours of Valorant to jiggle peek this box and learned the first shots I can actually be proud of today. And while you watch me use my next life to shoot at this thing I'm not even sure I can damage, you could also quickly consider subscribing. I heard people get more handsome when they do that. Since playing heavy didn't work out, I changed back to the assault class and feel a sudden urge to be a sniper again as I look for the farthest angle I can find and once again miss all my shots. I am once again defeated by my old nemesis and afterwards find myself consequentially being stuck out in the open. As can be expected, I got reduced to scrap metal right away. My next life I use about as efficiently as one can imagine and die in a way I can't even be mad about. That was just a clean shot by the enemy. My droid then says something pretty heartbreaking and instead of reacting in any nice way, I choose to answer with the most Star Wars racist way possible.
My friends are on that ship.
I have my clanker, I have no friends. Choosing to respawn as a commando droid apparently makes me incredibly stupid as I get confused by this enemy and start shooting what I can only assume to be a hallucination. Without any other interesting things to mention, I proceed the game and quickly lose as expected, even though I had no clue what the winning condition actually was to begin with. I then wanted to leave, but for some reason I am being thrown into the same game on opposite sides this time, so I guess we're playing one more round. Still in the world selection, I see something preposterous in game chat and feel a sudden urge to counter with space racism once again. Scared and lonely, I decide to cuddle up next to this comrade, and after watching him get shot right next to me, I decide to avenge him by once again shooting anything but an enemy. Realizing how far off I actually was from hitting anything I can deal damage to, I adjust course and proceed to aim as successfully as before. Once again embarrassed by my glorious fuck up, I want to take my own life, but jumping down this cliff only prompts a slight inconvenience. I guess I'll have to keep fighting. In the midst of the battle, I found myself being flanked by some droidicars, and my best solution to the problem was to look at them through my magic goggles. Somehow didn't save me, I'm sure they were cheating. The next respawn, however, might just be the most successful life I've lived through so far. Please enjoy the entirety of it completely unedited.
Nobody ever accused clones of being subtle.
Absolute cinema. A few minutes later, I find myself in a one-on-one against Darth Maul. Sadly, my attempts to befriend him by repeatedly crouching were met with skepticism. I give him an F for sportsmanship, but an A for staying in character. After that, I decide to throw out this little bald droid that doesn't belong in this time period at all. I've never felt more accomplished in my life. Hyped up and ready for a fight, I decide to pick one with this big guy. Needless to say, he didn't stand a chance. Shortly after that, we lost this one too. I thought it was going well, but I'm sure I wasn't the reason we lost. And while you watch me get thoroughly confused by this loot box, let me just thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and definitely make sure to check out the guy who came up with the video format. If you have any games you want me to make a video about for the next part of the series, let me know in the comments, and other than that, I wish you a fantastic rest of your day.